There we go. You guys do me a favor, go to any chat, any text message, any social media platform and tell everybody, get on the call and let's rock and roll. All right. I am grateful for my health because your girl was feeling a little less than 100% last week, but I'm excited. I am grateful to God. We got patience, unity, life, G-Dub, the plug in the building, God, favor, family, and wisdom. All right. So let's rock and roll, guys. Tonight, I'm excited about whatever comes out of my mouth tonight. I'm excited to share some value with you all on tonight. My name is Brittany Burrell. I go by B Burrell. I've been in this space for going on 4 years now. If you're a part of our investment community, I've been here for 4 years. I'm just grateful to see every single individual in this space. And I want us to make sure that we take the next year. I want you guys to always make sure you keep the end in mind. But something I said the other day was, I don't want my confessions. I want my confessions to change next year. Okay. I want my confessions to change next year. I want the confessions that I'm saying right now. I want to be living them. And guess what? I'm okay no matter what happens, but I'm excited to see my confessions change. What am I praying for? Those things I'm asking God to, I'm asking God for access in my life, right? So one thing you have to understand is not everything you're going to know going forward, right? And that's the beauty in believing. That's the beauty in having faith. That's the beauty in the unseen, is that there's this window of where I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I just believe that these doors are going to open, right? So you have to ensure that you stay in a space of this expectation. Y'all drop the word expectation if it ain't too big for you in the chat box. Drop expectation in the chat box, because you have to operate in expectancy, but there's things that you have to also expect. You just can't expect the goal to happen. Okay. I want to make sure we have a clear understanding going forward. You don't only expect the goal to happen. Okay. You have to expect what come along with expecting the goal to happen. Okay. So what in the word are you saying? Well, the first thing is that you have to understand that whatever it is that you desire, you can draw it to you. Okay. Whatever it is that you desire, you draw that to you. Okay. Because ultimately, whatever you're asking for already exists. So you actually have to become I believe your desire magnetizes for you to approach that desire that is that you're asking for. So the goals and the dreams, if we're aware that God has already created everything that we're asking for, your level of desire has to magnetize. All right. It has to go bigger. Somebody say, go big in the chat box. Your desire has to magnify and it has to magnetize. Okay. Magnify means to increase. Magnetize means to attract. Okay. So your desire has to get bigger and it has to get stronger so that you can be able to access those things that you want in your life. So understand that you can draw it forth. All right. And you'll be able to draw. You have to, but the only way it's going to happen is if you're in full confidence and full faith. Okay. So you can't just go out here asking it. You can't be crossing your fingers. You can't be a child in this space. All right. The only way being having a mindset of a child is beneficial when you're operating in faith, because they're completely have this pure heart about them, right? But you have to make sure that you are aware that when you're going out here attracting these things, you have to be fully confident and fully operating in faith. I was reading something today in the good book, and he was talking about profiting from trials. Okay, so I just told you guys, when you're expecting increase and expecting big and expecting things to you expecting yourself to attract certain things in your life, you also have to expect trials. This is what people are not prepared for, and then they act all shocked and overwhelmed when life begins to happen. See, I believe when doubt, limiting thoughts, and fear begin to rise in your life, that lets me know you haven't been in a relationship. Okay, so to stay on guard. See, when people are when you look at different movies or you look at past times, there was always somebody standing guard. There's always somebody standing in front of the castle, somebody standing at the forefront. So you have to understand your faith has to be your soldiers. Okay. Your faith has to be your front line. Your faith has to be the things that are ready for war. So when life begins to hit you, you don't have these physical human soldiers in front of you. You have this spiritual army that's going to be able to take on the external things that's going on in your life. If you with me, drop some 777s in the chat box. You have to have a spiritual army. Okay. And that spiritual army, do you understand that your faith is undefeated? Do you understand that faith is undefeated? Because it's always a win. Because when you're operating in full faith and confidence, guys, your faith is not defeated. All right. It's not the faith that's defeated. It's your lack of faith that gets defeated. All right. That's the difference. When I operate in faith, I am always a winner, but not operating in faith, I'm going to be defeated because I'm operating off of flesh and not spirit. You got to understand. He says, count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. The testing of your faith produces patience, but let patience have its perfect work, and it's perfect and complete and lacking nothing. Okay. If you are lacking wisdom, please ask God for advice. Ask God for direction. Okay. But you got to ask it in full faith. All right. But it says it will produce full patience, will produce patience. All right. But what does patience produce? You remember I told you guys when you're operating, I expect my goals. If you expect your goals to happen, drop some 8s in the chat box. If you expect your goals to happen, drop some 8s in the chat box. Right? If you expect them to happen. See, a lot of people think patience is just a space of waiting. See, patience is not just only the space of waiting. The definition of patience is the capacity to accept and tolerate delay, trouble. Let me start at the delay part. A lot of people level of awareness is that patience is the capacity to accept delay. That's as far as their definition of patience goes. But patience is it means to also be able to accept trouble, to accept suffering without getting angry or upset. So when people hear, I gotta have patience, they're only thinking about the waiting period. How many of y'all have been in that space? You only just know it. You just gotta wait for something. But it ain't just waiting. It's also waiting to expect. It's waiting when trouble comes. It's waiting when suffering comes. It's waiting without getting angry or upset. Okay. So that's what you guys got to understand. The word literally says, my brother, you're going to fall into various trials. But because you don't have relationship, you didn't understand that was a part of your prerequisites for your journey. See, a lot of people are expecting not to face things. A lot of people are expecting not to go through trials and challenges just because you believe. No, it literally says trials will produce perfect patience. Trials will produce patience. So you have to get excited about that thing. You got to get excited when trials come. It was a class I went to, a little Bible study I was at a couple of years ago, and she spoke about, people not being aware, or people are in shock when, trials and things happen. Guys, life is going to do some things. I'm not saying not have emotions. I'm not saying cry or absorb or deal with that moment in time. What I'm saying is you got to stop acting surprised when it's time for your trials. Because those trials produce patience, and patience produces a level of capacity and a level of toleration so that you can get through the troubles of suffering in the delay. Okay. Patience is not just waiting on your goals. Patience is waiting on your goals through trial, suffering, and troubles. Okay. So you have to understand that. And when you have patience, let patience have its perfect work in you. Let patience have its perfect work, meaning it's going to be perfect and complete. And then you're not going to lack anything. You're going to begin to master new levels. Every trial is going to produce levels of patience that are going to get you to a level in your life where you're going to be able to access those things in your waiting space. All right. And then, of course, asking in faith. But the person who doubts is like a wave of the sea that is driven and tossed by the wind. The person who, I just asked you guys, are you expecting your goals? Y'all drop some 8s, right? Everybody drop the 8. But are you expecting your goals with trials? Woo-hoo. Are you expecting your goals with trials? Okay. And if you're expecting your goals with trials, that means you're expecting a perfect patience, what would then grant you access to your blessings, right? So, and then you won't have that doubt in your mind. Be wary of the man. Listen, the person who doubts, don't ask for your blessings in doubt. You got to ask for your blessings in faith. The person who doubts is a wave, it's a sea driven and tossed by the wind. All right. So well, let's look up the definition of doubt, B. Well, it's literally the opposite. It's a level of uncertainty. It is a feeling of uncertainty. And if you've been with generational wealth enough, you know how we talk about feeling. See, feeling is the law of vibration. Okay. A lot of people put their goals. I got goals all over this office. I have goals in my car, I have goals on my phone, I have goals all over the place. The law of vibration is going to produce that vibration. If you are vibrating on doubt, okay, you're going to attract uncertainty in your life. If you are vibrating, meaning you're feeling, feelings produce energy. Y'all ever had somebody call you, or you've been around people you don't want to be around because, you know, you hear people say they vibe is off, right? Yes or no in the chat box. You ever been around people or heard people where they vibe is off? I ain't really effing with them, or, you know, somebody done pissed you off in a restaurant or something done pissed you off, or you can feel their energy and you ain't trying to be around that, right? I'm beginning to learn that there's different friendships and different family members that I have grown up with, and I'm growing out of I've grown out of their vibration. Woo! I have grown out of their vibration. So what happens is when I do interact with them, it's almost like it's like they're in a bubble. It's like they're in a bubble. And I'm like, I don't like it. It's just like, I don't really want to be. I love you. I'm here for you. I'll pour into you all day. But it's a limit of time. There's a limit. There's a window of time that I'm supposed to spend with you. And you got to be careful when you have this feeling of uncertainty. The reason I asked you guys, have you been around people when their vibrations is off? Because you can feel it. Or maybe your vibes was off and maybe you just knew you needed to isolate yourself, right? When you have that feeling is sending out a signal. And if it's a feeling of uncertainty, then you're going to attract uncertainty in your life. When I call people fired up and excited, guess what they get? They get my feelings, my vibrations roll over to them. So what vibrations are you sending out to the universe? When for those who build the business, you already know we teach excitement and enthusiasm. Every person I've ever closed is because of my energy level. So maybe you're not closing because your vibrations are low. Maybe your vibrations come off uncertain. Maybe your vibrations have a lack of conviction, right? So be wary, be the person who operates in doubt. They're like a sea of waves in the wind, right? So you're just going to be shaking from left to right. You're not going to be in alignment with anything that you're praying for because you're going to keep missing it. You're on this boat and this boat can't hit the land because it's operating. Guys, picture yourself in a boat, all right? Whatever kind of boat you want to be in, whether it's a yacht, whether it's a speedboat, fishing boat, picture yourself in the boat. And the waves, the sea is, oh Lord, the sea is your faith. Picture you in the boat. And the vibration of the sea is your faith. Now, when we're in your boat, is the sea too rocky? Is it shaking? Is it throwing me overboard? Or is it calm? Is it full of wisdom? Is it full of peace? Right? So you got to make a decision. When the waves are calm, I can navigate my boat. But when the waves are not calm, the waves navigate my boat. Ooh! I hope y'all with me on tonight. So you got to make sure you understand, am I full of doubt or am I full of faith? Because one is going to get me there and one is going to keep me out to sea. Okay. Now you have to understand how to love and how to operate under these trials, right? You have to love and operate under these trials. Blessed is the man who endures temptation, right? For when he is approved, he will receive the crown of life. But this is what I want to talk about. Let no one say that he is tempted. Let no one say when he is tempted, I am tempted by God, for God cannot be tempted by evil. All right. Nor does he tempt anyone. You're only going to get misguided by your own desires. All right. You're only going to be enticed. You're going to be directed by your own desires. Now, this is the kick. When your desire is conceived, do we have any mothers on the line? If you are a mother, drop some ones in the chat box. All right. When the desire is conceived, ladies and gentlemen, you have to make a decision. What is it going to give birth to? Are your desires giving birth to positivity, harmony, peace, joy, self-control, discipline, right? Gentleness, compassion. Are your desires giving birth to faith, or is your desires giving birth to sin? You have to make that decision. And if it's sin, and if it's sin, it will become full grown and bring forth death. I ain't make that up. That's in the word, by the way. Okay. So you got to make a decision. When I am tempted by my own desires, when I am tempted by doubt, when I am tempted by limiting belief, when I am discouraged, when I am weary, when I am tempted by my own desires, those desires are going to give birth to sin, and that sin will become full grown and give birth to death. You can take it for whatever you want to take it, but what I'm telling you guys on tonight, you have to monitor what is birthing out of your heart. You have to understand that everything that you're creating is right here in your heart. Whether it's he literally just told y'all that you can give birth to sin from your heart, because desires come from your heart. Desire has conceived. If that desire of doubt and being tempted by your own desire gives birth, it's going to give birth to sin. And when sin is full grown, it's going to bring forth death. What does that mean? Now, that doesn't mean literally physical, but you're not going to begin to live the life that you desire. So now people have only heard, well, God gives me the desires of my heart. Well, he ain't lying. All right. You desired it. You got to be aware of that. Right. So we got to go big, and we got to magnetize what it is that we desire, so we can go attract those things in our life. When you are full of fear and doubt, all right, when you say, I might fail, I might lose the money, I don't know if I can make it, it's too tough, it's too hard, I don't know how to do it, I'm afraid to go forward. Guess what you're doing? You're vibrating. You're creating those desires, right? And it's going to become magnetized, and then you're going to be able to attract that in your life. All right. Everything is found through the power within you, family. Okay. Everything that you desire, the wisdom that you desire, every single thing that you can go out here and create. Okay. But guess what? You have to have the complete awareness of what it is that you have. Okay. So what does that mean? Okay. When you have the conscious awareness, let me ask y'all a question. How many of y'all believe your mind works? Yes or no? How many of y'all believe that your mind works? Yes or no? Do you believe that your mind, not your brain, not the organ, the mind, the invisible stuff, the invisible space? Do you believe that your mind works? Okay. Now, if you believe that your mind works, the question is, do you know how your mind works? That's the window people miss. A lot of people don't even realize they got a mind. They just think their brain doing everything, right? It's a separate, it's the invisible. I love saying the invisible stuff, right? The invisible part of you, right? Don't y'all see how I think people don't sit and meditate enough. I don't think people sit and reflect enough, right? People don't sit and reflect enough. LaCree, are you making yourself breathe right now? Are you, if you hold, cause guess what? The only thing you can't even control holding your breath. Do y'all understand that? You can't control holding your breath. What you mean I can get? No, you can't, because at some point, the invisible side of you is going to force the breath. The invisible side of you is going to force, you got to be, don't bring that back. You cannot stop yourself from breathing unless you try to use something on the external plane. Right? So we don't have control over our breathing. That is a freaking miracle to me. I am literally anonymous. I'm literally on autopilot. Thank you, God, for another day. That's why you got to wake up every day and give gratitude, because you didn't wake yourself up. The invisible. Thank you, Jesus. Did. Right? The blood flowing through your heart. You're not pumping your heart. You're not doing that. You don't have control over that. So you got to understand, man, that it got to be something supernatural out there, because the fact that my eyeballs can see this, the makeup, you mean to tell me you gave me something that can taste? I can touch things. When the difference between hot and cold, I can see things, right? I can wait, I got legs, I can move these, I can run, right? You can't control your breathing. But this is why I asked you if you believe your mind works. Now, with that being said, now do you really believe your mind works? Because that's what's controlling you. Holy Spirit. Right? Are you with me now? Now, maybe you didn't understand what part of it was your mind. That's your mind. That's your spiritual side. Okay? So understand what the mind is. Now, to understand the mind is to operate in the law of belief. You must know what believing is, how it works, and what and why it works, right? So that you can begin to move mountains. I'm gonna say that again. Now that y'all realize, do we all agree we ain't making ourselves breathe? Yes or no? Because I got to make sure y'all keeping up, okay? Do we all agree that we not making ourselves breathe? The only thing the only thing you do have control over is how long you breathe. Why? I didn't say when God's gonna call you home. I said because there are things. I used to smoke weed, okay? I used to drink. I used to do a lot of things. There are going to be things that you can begin to slow down the mind. Y'all like thinking from that point of view. You can begin to slow down the mind. All right. Now, I'm not here to step on nobody's toes, but we know we have extracurricular activity that we are involved in that can begin to slow down the mind. And what I'm talking about, guys, I'm not even talking about health effects. I'm talking about you're going to be able to start slowing down the things that are going to be able to attract what it is in your life. Because if your heart is no longer pumping, you're no longer desiring, you're no longer attracting. Right? So awareness is very, very important. Everything is a ripple effect. The Bible says, whatever shall I say into this mountain may it be moved and cast in the sea. All right. Do not have doubt in my heart. Do not have doubt in my heart, but believe that those things what he shall saith come to pass, and he shall have whatever he says. Right? The law of the mind is the law of belief. This means you believe. The way your mind works is to believe in believing itself. I'm going to say that again because somebody need to write it down and put it on the wall. To believe that your mind works, family, is to believe in believing itself. You just told me you believe that you're not breathing on your own. So you have to believe that believing works, right? The belief of your mind is the thoughts of your mind, ladies and gentlemen. The invisible. Can y'all see our thoughts? Yes or no? Right? If I say boat, is it in front of your face? If I say what Riley, is the dog sitting right there in front of your left? But you can see the thought in your mind. That's what you call the mind, the invisible stuff. All right. So as you're in pursuit, as you're expecting these things to happen, I just told you guys, you have to expect not only the goal, you have to expect that the goal is going to produce patience. You have to, let me fix everybody's desire on tonight. You need to desire patience. Matter of fact, you need to desire trials. Like, what? We don't want no trials. No. You need to desire trials because the trials produce patience, right? And when you have produced patience, you begin to lack nothing. When you begin to produce patience, you begin to lack nothing. Why? Why don't I lack anything? All right? Because God said you will receive anything from me if you don't lack patience. Y'all need to get that. For let not the man suppose that he will receive anything from the Lord, but he is double-minded, unstable in his ways if he has doubt. Patience produces a perfect work. It is complete. And you have to understand the qualities needed in these trials. Let a man be swift to hearing and slow to speak and slow to wrath. I'm going to say it again. We just said the definition of patience is The space of delay. It's also the space of challenges and trouble. Okay. You don't look at patience in one point of view. Okay. So when you guys are praying, God, I pray for the trials, because the trials are going to give me patience, and patience is going to give me the capacity to accept those trials and those troubles and the suffering. And I'm not going to get angry or upset because I prayed for this. Somebody said pray for this in the chat box, however you want to say, however you want to spell it. Right? I prayed for this. And I went back, I was talking about this little Bible study, whatever I was in a couple of years ago. And she was speaking to everybody. And all I remember was saying was, I was like, you know what? I don't do what everybody else does. I don't sit there and hope things don't happen to me. I said, I actually asked God for the trials and tribulations in my life, because that's where most of my growth came from. You cannot fear your trial. You cannot fear your test. Because in that matter, you might as well stop praying for what it is that you deserve. Stop bothering him. All right? Because you have to understand, they are a prerequisite. So if you begin to recondition your mind and expect, because I asked y'all what y'all expecting to hit your goals, but are you expecting the trials? Right? That's the conversations we need to start having. Are you expecting your trials? Right? He says, receive the meekness with the implanted word, in which be able to save your soul. But what I want to talk about is, you got to be doers of the word, not just hearers. Otherwise, you're deceiving yourself. You have to be doers. You can't just read this stuff, hear this stuff. You got to go do it. You got to believe. You got to go chase these goals and these dreams with enough ambition, enough faith behind it. So when you hit it, you can be like, God, I knew we was going to do that, dog. I appreciate you. Right? You got to know you're going to do that, dog, so we can appreciate you. Because this is what people do time and time again, D. They whatever your spiritual walk is, okay? Whatever your spiritual walk is, I know at the end of the day, it's telling you to go after your dreams and your goals and maintain a level of faith. What a lot of people do is this: they read, or they listen to audios, or they listen to these different books. They have these different mentors, but then there's this component. See, when I teach trading comes with 5 components: support, resistance, breaking, retest, consolidation, entry. Okay. But your faith comes with just 2. I put it on my social media today. Faith and works. It's just 2 components. A lot of people know that success is 90% spiritual, but they forget God ain't hearing you unless you're acting. You can't be a lazy believer. You can't believe God into action. You can't believe to chairman. You can't be like, I'm just going to believe and chairman going to pop. I'm just going to believe and hit platinum 1,000. I'm just going to believe and make this 100K. No. No. Dude say, listen, you got to be a doer. For he observed himself is like looking in the mirror, and he's going to go away. It's going to fade away. Basically saying, if you ain't moving, you ain't getting it. If there's no action, right, you're not going to attract it. Okay. You got to make sure that you continue to move. It is not a forgetful hearer and a doer of the work. This will be blessed by what he does. But this is my favorite part, y'all. I put it on social media today. It says, what profits a man? Okay. What profits a man, Cliff? What profits a man, Josh? See, check me out. My name is B. Burrell. You see me on the street. I'm cold. I need a coat. And I'm hungry. But you give me a coat. That's it. All right. Good luck. Peace. Deuces to you. What profits a man, a brother and sister who is naked and destitute for daily food? You depart with them in peace, and you tell them to be warm and filled, but you don't give them the things that are needed for their body. You didn't give me the food. So does faith works by itself? No, it's dead. So clothing me and not feeding me is dead. Faith and works is dead. I said faith is the clothes and works is the food. You got to have both. Faith is the clothes. The works is the food. God had tested Abraham and said, bro, I need you to sacrifice your son. Put him on the altar, right? He tested so many people to do things that they would just be like, bro, I don't really think I want to do that. But because they backed up the most uncomfortable things that God tested them with, they passed the test and they were blessed beyond measure. For as the body is without a spirit, faith without works is dead. So I'm going to say that again. I don't give a flying fish if y'all are in here believing for your 6-figure journey, for your 7-figure portfolio, whether that's crypto, HFX, FRX, I don't know. But if you don't back up no action, you can't be committed and paying your monthly tuition with no action. See, that's faith without works. Woo-hoo! Paying your monthly tuition and not using the education is faith without works. I'm going to pause for a second and let somebody digest that. Right? Faith without works. You want, receive your blessings. If you lose, what blows my mind is the amount of access to information we have in this. I said paying your monthly tuition and not accessing the academy and using the products and resources and the tools in the academies is faith without works. Because you're clothing yourself, you're clothing the vision, but you're not feeding the vision. Okay? You're clothing it, but you're not feeding it. So what does he say? It's like a spirit, it's like a body with no spirit. That's crazy, right? It's like a body with no spirit. So, hey, I gotta not only expect trials, I gotta do the work too. You want me to do it? I gotta do the work too. It's so, and this is what's the sad part. Oh, Moody, are you ready for it? Come on, Jesus, come on in my room. The sad part about it is that there are people putting in work into spaces that they don't even have faith in. Ooh, woo! Lord, come on, B. There are people every day putting the work into spaces they have no faith in. Imagine that. Oh, Lord, have mercy. I'm going to let you figure out what it is for you in your life. Some people, it's their career. Some people, it's relationships. Some people, it's this opportunity. You may be a professional student, right? But you never apply the principles. You may be a professional IBO, but you never pick up the phone and do what's uncomfortable. You have faith, but you have no works, right? Or you're doing all the work and no faith. You're hoping, you're crossing your fingers, you're trying to will the goal. No, be calm, be cool, be patient. Somebody drop patient in the chat box. You got to be patient. Do not allow patience to make you lazy either. Do not allow patience to make you lazy. I'm patient for the goal. I know it's going to happen. I believe. Well, according to your work ethic, according to the 10%, the faith and the works create the spirit. The faith and the works create the spirit. He just said, a body without a spirit is dead. A body without the spirit is dead. So the faith without works is dead. So when you don't have them both working, there is no spirit in you. Somebody uneasy right now. Yeah, it ain't in you, right? You can't. You gotta mix that thing. you gotta mix it up. Just because the works is just 10% of the pie is very, very important. See, do y'all understand? Has anybody ever driven a car before? Yes or no? Or you know what a car looks like? Everybody got a car, know what a car looks like? Yes or no? Well, you're just a car, lawnmower, something, right? See, Kim, I'm going to bring your G-Wagon to your house right now. Everybody drop their dream car in the chat box. I'm going to pull it. I'm going to go buy it and I'm about to bring it to you. Drop your dream car. Mine is a 2021 Flying Spur, Bentley. Drop your flying car in the chat. Your flying car. Drop your car in the chat box. So let me see what y'all cars is. Give me the color too. I'm debating on mine. I keep going between that gold and they sit that we got a pink Porsche. What model, man? What model? Mark Moo Moo, give me the model. 2021 Bentley Flying Spur V12. What we at? Lamborghini truck, Chrysler 300, supercharged Jeep Wrangler, matte blue, Range Rover, black rims. Okay. Everybody drop them cars. We got a red Tesla. Okay. I see y'all. Y'all bougie with it. Check this out. Now, everybody pretend B Burrell is just doing an Oprah. I'm doing an Oprah thing. You get a car. I'm Oprah tonight. I'm gonna give everybody their car. I don't care how much cost I got the bag. I can afford it. It's light. It's lightweight, right? So Kim, I'm gonna bring your G-Wagon. Brucey, I'm gonna bring your red Tesla. Stephanie, I'm gonna bring you your Benz C-Class black on black. I'm gonna drop it in the driveway. Everybody's in the house. I'm gonna bring it. I'm gonna put it in the driveway and put a big old red bow on it. And then I'm gonna say, hey, everybody, come outside. Everybody drop in the chat box. I'm outside with it. I'm outside. Hey, going outside. On the count of 3. Everybody go outside. Everybody go outside. All right. Going outside and look at your car. All right. Now, when y'all go outside and look at your car, what is your first reaction? What's your initial reaction? What y'all saying to me? Somebody called me the B word in a good way. All right. So check this out. I didn't put no battery in your car. Oh, Lord have mercy. I didn't put a battery in the car. You get in the car, you get ready to start the car, but ain't no battery in it. See, when you looked at the outside, oh, come on, Spirit. When you look at the outside of the car, it looked complete. Miss Washington, when I put that car in the driveway, it looked complete. Angela, when I put it in the driveway, it looked complete. It felt complete. It had a red bow on it. You got in the car, you sat in the car, and you cut the ignition on, but nothing activated. That's what a lot of people do. They look like they have faith. They look the full package. They're 90% complete. But there's this 10%, which is the freaking battery, that won't move the car. Anybody ever had a dead battery before? Faith was me putting the car in your driveway, but you needed the battery for it to work. Faith and works. So imagine being almost full. Imagine being almost full, but you missed the 10%, which is the work. Everybody with me on tonight? It's not enough to pay the car note and to see the car and to have it in your driveway, to touch the car. You sitting there taking photos on Instagram with the car. But it can't be moved because there is no 10% the battery in it. I'm going to say this to you. Your goals and your dreams won't be moved until you put that battery in you. Okay? People can give you everything you need all day. But if you don't take the necessary action, and a lot of times people underestimate the action that is required. A lot of our blessings, and let's go back to the cars. See, Teslas are electric cars. They have a bigger battery. A Honda wouldn't have as big as battery as my Bentley. Okay. Do we understand that different cars require different size batteries? You can't put my V12 battery inside their V4 or their 4-cylinder. Okay. I got a V12 and a 4-cylinder head. It ain't even called a V4. It's called a 4-cylinder. Okay. The battery is too big. Okay. My faith is too big for your car. Hope y'all catching on. Okay. But you want to drive my Bentley, Angela. You want to drive my Bentley, Delisha. You need to get you need to match my battery life. Cheyenne, you need to match my battery life. You need to match my 10%. You still doing your little 4-cylinder head battery work, and you want to drive my Bentley. This Bentley required a bigger faith, right? So you have to stop underestimating the battery life, the 10% of the work. See, everybody hears the word 10%, but B, come on to the whiteboard. Come on to the whiteboard. See, I'm good at compound, okay? I'm good at compounding. I just got to make sure this stuff makes sense. See, listen, what is 10% of $100? Oh, what is 10% of $100? Somebody stay with me on tonight. What is 10% of $100? Everybody say $10. All right, that's your Honda. That's your Honda battery. Your Honda battery was $10. Okay, but what's 10% of $500? Huh? What's 10% of $500? Somebody
50.
give it to me. We got 50. All right. We're gonna say that's your little Camaro. All right. What's 10% of 10,000? Anybody? 10% of 10,000.
1,000.
Right? We're gonna make that your little Cadillac, right? So listen, this is so freaking powerful. We can end the call on this. Give me 10%, Angela, of 100K.
10,000.
Okay, let's make this my Bentley truck. No, let's make this a Bentley. Okay, and then what's 10% of $1 million?
100,000.
Boom. See, all of these are 10%. Oh my goodness gracious. All of these are 10%, Angela. But these 10% have greater values. So this person hit P150 with the $10 battery. But the person with the $10 battery, they want the ride in the Benz. But what they're doing is they want to change the car, but they don't want to change the battery life. They're still operating off of 10% Honda faith, but they want to drive the Benz. The Benz requires a $10,000 faith.
Whoop your butt.
Woo! I hope y'all with me on tonight. Y'all with me? Talk to me, y'all with me. All right? Listen, 90% spiritual, but 10% work. Your work ethic has to change. So you got to stop coming to me with this little work ethic expecting a $10,000 a month. My battery can't fit in your car. So you need to what? You need to change your battery life. David and Manite is not going to shrink his faith to accommodate your goals. Right? He's not about to shrink his faith to fit inside your box. You need to get out of the box Chevy. Let's go and put that on here. The box Chevy, you need to get out the box Chevy faith and get that faith on down here. I wanted to make sure y'all understand when people hear 10%, they've made 10% generic. No. It's not a generic 10% of work. It's faith and works. We talk about faith all the time, but we don't talk about the work. The work is the 10%. The car won't move without the battery. Your faith won't move without the work. Your blessings will not come to you. God says you might as well be what? Dead. Right? You might as well be a spirit. You might as well be a body without a spirit. Ooh, I need y'all to dwell on that for a second. Faith without works is dead. It's just as a body without a spirit, a car without a battery, right? So did that make sense, y'all? That there's different faith, there's different dimensions of the 10%. Did that make sense? There's different dimensions of the 10%. You're still doing platinum 150, platinum 1000, 10%, and you want to be a chairman. You're still doing brand new customer. You need to be an obsessive student. See, in generational wealth, I did a training the other day and I said, y'all got to become an obsessive student. Stop allowing the life that you don't want to live to consume all of your work. How many of y'all been there before? You got so caught. I was there, work, listen. But there has to be some type of sacrifice. You got to make time for it, because what you don't want to happen is have a cycle. Do you understand that there's also, you can create a paradigm of starting and stopping? Starting and stopping can become a paradigm. And you can get so used to starting over that you think it's healthy and that is okay. Faith and works, family. He didn't say faith and pause. He didn't say faith and pause, right? It says the definition of work is activity that is mental or physical effort done in order to achieve a purpose, right? The only thing things are achieved is by consistency. I'm even speaking to myself, so don't y'all feel alone, okay? But with enough persevering faith, and work, you gotta, and then you don't have to overexert yourself. That's what people have to understand. You don't have to burn yourself out. He's just making sure that you're taking some type of action, because sometimes we get so caught up in all of the spiritual that everybody stopped working. You're not studying anymore. You're not spending time on you're not, let's get out of the company. You're not working on your physical self. You're not taking care of your body. You're not building those relationships. You're not focusing on that new career goal. There's nothing wrong with having a job. I am so happy when people have a job, right? I'm even happier when they have an outlet that if they don't want to be there, well, we have the vehicle for them to take another route. We also have the vehicle for people who love their jobs. This is a way they can build the wealth part-time. So whatever it is that they want to do, they have enough wealth, they have enough cushion, right? But you guys have to make a decision tonight and understand that to believe in the mind is to believe in believing. Okay? To believe in the mind, so we understand that the mind is the invisible part of ourselves that we can begin to attract and vibrate those things towards us. That's law of attraction, there's law of vibration. You don't get attraction without vibrating. Okay? So make sure you put yourself in a space of going to feel and exerting those senses, and you have to consume yourself with the thoughts of peace, happiness, right action, goodwill, and prosperity, consistency, discipline, joy, understanding, self-control. Do not allow next year to be a mirror of the same mistakes we made this year, or the same lack of attention or neglect. Whatever it is that you do this year, I need you to leave it in this year. Because we should be learning for what not to do. Okay, we should learn from that. But understand, now going forward, you know, not only do I have to expect trials, the trials create patience, and patience create perfection and completion. Okay, in the midst of patience is not only this; it's the capacity of delay. It's the capacity to deal with things of trials and tribulations without, don't forget this last part, being angry, all right, or upset. Patience, if you're angry, upset, you don't have patience. I need y'all to catch this. If you are angry and upset, any ill feelings, any negative feelings, that is not patience. And that means you're not expecting your goal, okay? Because it's to expect the goal, is to expect the trials. And to expect the trials means I have to remain, I can't be upset and I can't be angry. Okay? So yeah, it's a lot of the person you got to become, but listen, it's when you work on that part of yourself, everything begins to just happen for you. Okay? But understand that, family. Your prayer is the law of action and reaction. Okay? Your prayers are is a law of action and reaction. The reaction is the response from your subconscious mind, and it corresponds with the nature of your thought. Okay? So from here going forward, family, you have to understand what to sow and what to expect. What to sow and what to expect. There's cause and effect. Cause and effect. Remember them thoughts. Your thoughts are generated from your feelings. Your feelings are generated from your five senses. So be careful of who you're hanging around. Be careful of the people you're listening to. You have to be complete control of what's going in and what's going out. Okay? Please have that level of awareness. Who do I talk to that I need to spend less time talking to? What songs, what environments, what people, what things am I doing? What am I not even paying attention to? You got to really buckle down. You got to dissect your life. You got to dissect your interactions. It's very, very important, right? Because remember, whatever you are around, the environments and the people and the conversations that you are dealing with, they're going to create feelings, and those feelings create the thoughts. And those thoughts, are going to begin to start attracting those things in your life. Your thoughts are vibrations as well. All right. So please be mindful of that. Whatever you think about, cause and effect, the law of action and reaction. Okay. Your thoughts are the action. Okay. Your thoughts take action on the spiritual side. Okay. And whatever you attract is a reaction of your thoughts. So when you out there blaming folks for stuff happening in your life, you need to check your thinking. Don't forget, you're still going to be going through trials. It said it. It said it. It says profiting from trials. Trials are profitable. Don't forget that. But then the part of you that attracted the non-profitable things in your life. Please pay close attention. You're going to go through trials. Some trials you're going to attract because you're speaking the wrong language, but those trials are most likely non-profitable. But then there's a person who's speaking their goals. They're taking the work. They're doing the action. They're following their goals, everything. They're speaking that thing. They're affirming it. They're excited. And when you speak your goals, I am so happy, grateful now that I'm a chairman. I'm so happy and grateful now that I have $10 million liquid in my portfolio. I'm so happy and that grateful now that I have a 7-figure cryptocurrency portfolio. I'm so happy and grateful now. Do y'all get what I'm saying? I'm saying it like, you got to speak it like that because I'm sending a vibration out there. I'm expecting these things to happen. And I'm also backing it up by work. Faith and works and energy. My feelings are going to put me in a space of where I need to be. There's things still happening today that I didn't even ask God for. But because he know I need certain things in my life, because whatever I am currently speaking, it has to be a part of that plan. So you got to understand when you're too quiet, you got to stop being quiet. Go in the car if your family at home. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm a qualified chairman in Dubai. I'm so happy and grateful now that Generational Health has 100 people in Houston, Texas. I'm so happy and grateful now that my HFX portfolio has over $1 million in my portfolio. I'm so happy and grateful now that I have successfully competed 281 3% trades. You all get what I'm saying? I'm not like they're like, so happy and grateful now that I got 200. No, you speak it. He said, if you say move the mountain, if you say move this mountain, if you say feelings, do not allow the 90% to make you a lazy believer. Okay? Do not make the 90% to make you be a lazy believer. And don't allow it to make you be lazy in celebrating your goals. You have to understand, guys, the praises must go up. You must celebrate now. I want y'all to start throwing parties. Oh, Lord have mercy. See, anybody ever seen a retirement party or a birthday party or a bachelor party? Anybody been to a party before? Yes or no? And we're done. Anybody been to a party before? Yes or no? Talk to me. Right? I challenge y'all. I challenge myself. I challenge you to start throwing parties for what's to come. I challenge you to start throwing parties for what's to come. That's it. That's different. That's what you call believing. That's what you call walking on water type of faith. I challenge you to throw a party for what you wrote down, for the images and the pictures in your life. I challenge you. Let's start a new trend. Party. I'm throwing the first party. Y'all invite. I ain't never heard nobody say, throw a party. Throw a party for what you wrote down. People love having events. People love throwing just stuff, just people get around. No, we're going to start throwing parties for believing. Yo, come over Saturday at 7 o'clock. I'm going to have a belief party. What the heck is a belief? Just come through, bro. I'm going to have some food. I'm going to have some drinks. I'm having a belief party. Yo, Ash, what you doing on the 15th? Pull up. I'm having a belief party. And when you get there, I'm going to have images of what I'm believing for all over the party. It's going to be on the cups. It's going to be on the hat. Y'all be trying to have these revealing baby parties. No, we even have pink and blue. We're going to have that Benz. We're going to have that G-Wagon, Kim. No, we believe party. Believe party. That's what it's called. We believe for it. Right? We believe for it. Right? Because belief is acceptance that something is true, that it already exists. Belief is acceptance that it exists. So yeah, it's a belief part. All right? Because the difference between manifesting, believing means you accept that it is existing. Existing. Believing means that you accept that it is true, that it exists. Manifesting means that it's obvious to the mind. But two different dimensions. Manifesting is that it's obvious to the mind, to the spiritual, but believing is that it exists. I hope y'all catch that, man. Good God Almighty. That something is true, that it exists. Manifest is spiritual. Manifest doesn't come down into the physical. Believing is physical and spiritual. I am done. Come on. Believe party. I love y'all. What is our hashtag on tonight? Ooh. Somebody give me a hashtag. Give me a hashtag. I'm gonna sit on the chair like that fox on the. I'm finna have a belief party, like for real, y'all. And I'm gonna bring some prospects. I'm gonna invite some prospects so they can come out too. All right? Believe. Okay? Belief party. That's it. Thank y'all. Hashtag tonight is belief party. Belief party. Y'all tag me on Instagram, belief party, Facebook, belief party, or your team chat. Let's just hashtag. This is a new wave. Belief party. I'm trademarking that thing. All right. I love y'all. Have an amazing night. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight, and expect the trials, expect your goals, and keep believing. Peace and blessings, family. Take care.